Hey guys, welcome to our movie review of Insidious, The Red Door, supposedly the final chapter, as I was promised in the trailer. And I'm like, all right, well, if it's going to be the final one, let's see how this thing wraps up. Other Joe, how you doing today?
Oh, man, feeling great, feeling good, baby.
You're feeling very beardy?
Yeah, beardy, very hairy, very pale.
All right, obviously, Joe. So Joe came back from vacation, but then he went to Paris
For TwitchCon.
Yeah. So Joe will be back on Monday again. So Patrick's filling in, and we decided to go and see the latest horror film. This is the 5th movie. Well, should you go see this? Well, if you're already invested in Insidious, I guess, but I'm not. I've never been a huge fan of Insidious, and I will say that there are fans of this one. I mean, this franchise has grossed over $500 million, $542 million, and it cost to make these. Guess how much it cost to make those 5 films?
Oh, the 5 films?
Yeah, 5 films combined. How much did it cost to make?
I'd say like 500 mil.
No, 26 million.
Wow.
So they making bank.
Yeah.
They're making bank. And then this latest one's budget was only 16 million, and I'm sure it's going to make its budget back. That's how we keep. That's why horror can go part 17. You know what I mean?
Everyone loves horrors.
They just don't. They just don't cost a lot, and they make some good money. Not superhero movie money, but they make good money.
Yeah, I think that's where my mind was with the budget was superhero money.
So the first 2 films were set on a couple who, you know, their son is entering comatose states, and the Insidious has always been about the astral plane. So this is, if you love astral plane movies, then you're an Insidious fan, right? And then for the 3rd and 4th, they did a prequel thing for the 3rd, and then the 4th was kind of like a spin-off, focusing on the lady who helped them, and basically it went off on its own thing. And this 5th film is the 3rd film, is like chapter 3 in the mainline thing with the Patrick Wilson. And Alex was confused because he thought he was watching
The Conjuring. I was like, yeah, Patrick Wilson. Yeah, he's from the. I've seen a couple of
the
Conjuring
horror
movies. I've seen the movies with Patrick Wilson. Yeah, Patrick Wilson's great, and he's in the Conjuring movies. I was like, wait a minute, that's not his wife.
Who is that lady?
Who's that lady? Wait, he's got kids.
So
what the fuck is this about?
Patrick Wilson he's just in 2 popular or recently popular horror franchises, you know, The Conjuring and then Insidious. But they're separate characters, and in fact, he loves doing this so much that he directed this one. He took on directorial duties. So not only is he starring in this particular one, but he's directing and
Singing a little bit, I hear.
I think we heard him sing in the final thing with the band Ghost. Not really sure. Anyways, so getting to the film, I had no expectations for this. I stayed away mostly from. I got a 20-second trailer as I was looking at some things. Final chapter, this and that, and I was like, all right. And I remember watching some of the other ones and liking some aspects of it, you know, tiptoe through the window. You know, that was the first thing that I remember. They do this song with
The Tiny Tim
Tiny
song?
Tim song was in the first one, and the motherfucking Darth Maul's cousin
Lipstick
is in
guy?
this.
Del Mall?
Yeah, Del Maul. It says, I don't know what is going on with this Darth Maul cousin ripoff here, but he was in those first 2, and he's obviously here again. But yeah, so I've not been a huge fan, but there's been some good elements. And then they kind of, for me, when they go on the astral plane, they kind of lose me a little bit. And that's been the case in the previous films. And here, I will say, the film starts really strong. Like, I was actually invested.
Yeah.
Like, damn, Patrick Wilson directed this.
Some good jump scares.
Yeah. Good jump scares. And invested me in the characters. I actually like the father and the son. He's taking his son, who he went through all that shit in the first film and second film with. They do a little bit of a fucking cheap move where it's like, okay, we're going to get hypnotized at the beginning so we don't remember anything that happened before. So then we go to college and we have a little bit of a blow up because of how cold they've been towards each other. And actually, that scene had some emotional resonance, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then a few good jump scare kind of things set up with artistic and remembering. There's like, I feel like I've been in a fog. I don't remember this particular year, referencing the fact that the hypnotist kind of erased that years for them. So it's like, oh, ooh, cool. Red door is. They're going to find a red door. They're going to open the red door. What's going to be
the red
in?
door?
Yeah. So I thought that was a good setup. And then I think it does a little, it spins its wheels a little bit. It does too many of those setups and not enough payoffs. And then towards the end, it kind of gives you all the answers to the question in the last 15 minutes. Because I'm like, this film has the pacing of a 2.5-hour film, but it's not 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused by that. So, yeah, Alex.
Yeah, so I thought this was a different franchise, but I was surprised that it started off actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
This is standard modern horror film 101. You make a film, you got an interesting premise, you establish some sort of atmosphere, there's some interesting jump scares, you don't quite know what's going to happen or what's going on, and then in the last 10, 15, 20 minutes, they shit the bed, and then it's not that great, and everything they set up was so much worse in the end than what you thought it was going to be. And that's what this movie felt like. I think this movie started strong, and then it kind of ends in a way that I just wasn't satisfied with anything. And I'm like, wait a minute, how did that work? Why did that work? Did something happen in the first 4 movies that I just, like, I don't want to spoil, I'm not going to spoil anything, but like, holy shit. What, like, why? Like, we had so much cool stuff. And then I went back once we filmed the movie. Like, who are these stupid ass characters? And apparently they just been there since 2010, right? There's Lipstick Guy, and then there's the that's the Darth Maul guy. They call him Lipstick Man or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
no, it's Darth Maul's cousin, bro.
Del
Respect
Maul.
man.
He looks terrible.
Del Maul.
Yeah,
Del Maul. I don't know.
Yeah.
Darth Maul's cousin, Dale Maul.
Dale.
Dale Maul.
Yeah,
Dale Maul.
and then there's like the Black Bride, and then there's someone else. But they had established other jump scare, other entities that are brand new to this franchise that are like specific to some of the stuff. And I thought they were more interesting. Like, honestly, the first one that they encountered was like, wow, that was a really cool scene with the bathroom and the kid got alcohol poisoning. So there's some cool stuff happening there. And then we went back to the 2010 ones. It's like that's not good. That's the kind of shit that I make for OJ. And if I'm, it's like it doesn't look great. So,
all right, you agree with this, Patrick, or you think it's better?
No, yeah, I'm the same. I in the beginning it was like some like spooky silhouettes coming out, and then they just kind of kept on like doing it, and then it's like. By the time, like,
get it?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Did you see? Did you see the thing?
Yes,
I
did.
like the thing. I like it when they do the thing in the background, and I see the
times.
thing in the background.
Yeah, but after like the 10th time, you're like, okay, I fucking get it.
Let's get to the point.
But yeah, I am on the same boat as Alex. I have not seen any of the Insidious films. So I also came in with kind of like no expectation.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, it was reeling me in with the father son kind of dynamic, and things are rocky, and you're trying to figure out like what he's like,
what event happened in the past?
What happened, and
on?
we're gonna find out. We're gonna get to the bottom of it.
So when we do,
it's so anticlimactic, man. It's and it doesn't make sense.
I'm like, God damn it, man.
They
do this whole fucking, all right, without spoilers.
Yes.
So the tease, they do the jump scares, and they got Darth Maul's cousin, and it feels like they're about to do like a Freddy Krueger thing. And then they kind of just, they don't really, they do the same. It's a possession, okay? Astral projection and possessions. And for whatever reason, it just, it's not satisfying. There doesn't feel to be a resolution. They do a resolution. They get it out of no. Okay, so it's like, okay, so they're tying this in. Great. Oh, he's got past trauma. He's talking about his father. Didn't really know about his father. Patrick Wilson's character, Josh. And then there's fogginess, and they're both remembering things at time. I loved it when it was like, when the son was going through some stuff, then the father woke up, and so they're linked, and that stuff was interesting. But it just it falls apart towards the end, and I lost my train of thought there. That's a really good point, and damn, I lost my train of thought. But basically, I thought they were going to resolve the situation in a clever way. A clever way that they set up. And the thing that they do to resolve it is out of nowhere, makes no sense, does not even tie into the character's history or abilities. I mean, maybe in one small way, but it's like, what? And then Patrick was saying this when he came out of the theater. I was like, actually, when you think about it, that's kind of insulting.
Yeah.
Cause how some horror movies are like, it's not really demons, it's your trauma, and you got to deal with your trauma, and if you don't deal with your trauma, then these things can happen. So deal with your trauma. And this film is,
it's
the
such an
message
easy
is
out,
wrong because the message is, do you have trauma? Nah, you don't have trauma. It's demons.
And also, it makes it feel like it's like if you have trauma, you're cursed or something,
Yeah.
But we are not our trauma. Like it feels like such an easy out they did on that. It's just like,
and it kind of ruins their own message because it's like, okay, so the film they're getting help. He's like, Dad, get help, and this and that. And so it's like, yeah, we need to deal with that. But then in the end, you didn't really need to deal with it. If you're being haunted by demons, then it's not really trauma. It's not really mental health issues. It is demons are possessing you, and I don't need to worry about my mental health. I just need to go
get rid of these fucking demons.
I will exorcise the demons. It's like,
I wish that's how that ended, but
I will exorcise.
It ended so much worse
it
than
would've been
that.
Right,
so much
it's
better
so
if
cool.
he-
It would have been better. There would have been this final climactic battle, Freddy Krueger style, which is they do go hokey. Motherfucker brings his goddamn record player again. Okay, I was like, are they gonna do the song? Like me, I was conflicted because it's like I want to do the song.
Yeah.
But if you do the song, it just feels because the song is out of place. It just doesn't connect together, and it feels like, oh yeah, this demon, the song. Why does he play? He just likes what? He just likes. He's a Tiny Tim fan.
He likes Tiny Tim.
I guess he's a Tiny Tim fan. Darth Maul's cousin has eclectic music taste, and he will fuck with you, and he's stupid. Why has he got a cul-de-sac on his head? Well, I don't understand. I thought they were going to explain stuff, and then they don't explain shit, and then they just kind of wrap it up. So it pissed me off the way it wrapped up. And then the credits roll, and there is an after-credits scene that pissed me off again.
It's 1 second long.
It's 1 second long, and it was not worth the wait. So just we'll
I had to go to the
we'll
bathroom
spoil
and
it
I
for
missed
you.
it. But
Oh, no, you missed it.
oh man,
Damn.
we got to go back
So-
and watch them.
This is a tale of a film that starts well directed, well written, some genuine acting. Patrick Wilson is a great actor, and I think his son was doing a great job as well. They have a quirky a female character here, his college roommate when he goes in it.
Yeah.
The film
I liked
doesn't.
her.
I liked her a lot too. It doesn't. The film doesn't really work without her, like her constantly pushing and getting her quirkiness. Because how do they get to these certain things but it does feel like it had a script doctor, but it feels like it's tied to delivering expectations of a 5-film franchise where they have to do Darth Maul's cousin. They have to do the Tiny Tim song. They have to do the I'm going to astral project and do and those are the weakest parts of the film, unfortunately, surprisingly, because they don't go hard in those areas. So I guess let's just go final verdicts. We'll make this a shorter one. We can talk about how stupid it was in the spoilers and what they used to resolve this.
the things I want to talk about are
in
kind
the
of all
spoilers.
spoilers.
What would you give it?
Yeah,
Let's start
go
Patrick. Patrick.
Me?
Out of 10.
All right.
5 being an average film here at the Angry Joe Show. 10 being like, damn, bro, that's legendary. I'm going to compare all horror films to this. And then 1 being like, this is barely functioning here.
So again, I will repeat that I came into this with no expectations at all.
Yeah.
No background on the actual series itself. And what were you're just talking about, kind of like saying they were trying to wrap everything up, but they didn't.
They didn't. No.
It was like as hard as they were trying to wrap everything up. I don't feel like they concluded it at all.
No. So that's some deceptive marketing because they've already announced a 6th film. I'm not joking. They announced it May 2023. Some motherfuckers.
Oh man!
And apparently there's a 7th film too because the 6th film is going to be a spin-off with Kamal. What is it?
Kumail Nanjiani.
Kumail Nanjiani, and it's a different thing. And I'm like, but okay.
I guess money talks.
Yeah.
But that being said, I did really like kind of like the father-son dynamic.
Yeah.
I like that, and the beginning, as we were saying previously, was reeling me in. For that reason, I give it a 3 out of 5 because the 3 is for the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
The missed points are for how it ended.
So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 on your behalf because we don't do the 5, we do the 10.
Oh, we're doing 10.
Yeah,
Shit, my bad.
10. No problem.
Damn.
Because in board games, me and Patrick do the board games, and we do the 5. We do the 5-star. So 6 or you want to do 6?
Yeah,
slightly above average is
Slightly
what that
above
would
average.
be, and that gets all the points for the well direction, the acting, and the setup. It's just that ending that was.
6 out of 10.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's some promise and there's some good stuff here. I think that some of the jump scares, I mean, the jump scares are cheap, but I still enjoy them. Anything that can kind of like if you build atmosphere and then you deliver on a jump scare, sometimes it's satisfying. And this movie could have done a lot of things beyond the jump scares, and they could have done a lot more things with kind of the the astral projection and like the haunting, and they really didn't do much of it. And I was kind of expecting them to go do a little bit more. I mean, there's people getting possessed, and like the possessed people didn't really do anything.
The possessed people didn't do anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what you meant.
and
Because they definitely do a lot of astral projection.
They do,
He's
but
fucking around. The son is discovering his astral projection powers. They kind of fuck around, but you're right in the sense.
So
that,
he fucks around and he didn't find out because nothing really ever happens, right? Because like even when like stuff doesn't like their bad things come through into our plane, there are really no consequences. No one really gets hurt. Like a lady was just like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then like there's not a whole lot happened. So I think that there was kind of low stakes here, and I don't know that the lipstick guy is or the Darth Maul's cousin was scary in the first 4, but he wasn't good here.
He is not. It's like, bro, go away.
Yeah.
I'm done. It's enough.
I think you could have just, if you want to have a
you're like the shittiest. That shirt I have that has all those fighters on it. Like he would not even earn his place on that shirt.
He wouldn't be the water boy for that team of people. Like it's not good. Now, if you want to put him in there because he's a fan favorite, there was opportunities for like menagerie. There actually was like a collection of evil spirits.
Yeah.
That's where we saw some of them. Have him back there. He just doesn't need to be out in center. There were so many scarier things that could have happened that weren't him that they just didn't really go into. And so I can't judge it based on seeing 1 through 4. I just know what I saw here, and the thing that I saw here, I didn't like all that much. There was some. I think that this is like an average modern horror movie.
Yeah.
I think it does some things right. It does a lot of things wrong. I don't think that you got to rush out and see it. So I think that this is average. We're dead middle, 5 out of 10.
I'm also gonna go a 5 out of 10, mainly because they spent some effects. They show Darth Maul's cousin very little. But when they do show him, they show his hands, and he's got these really cool designs. Almost Jeeper Creepers kind of reminding me of, but they just don't do enough with that. This really a father-son relationship that is touching, and I do buy, and I'm interested in, kind of gives way to horror tropes and ones that are just not as effective. When we go into the astral plane sucks. It's boring and nothing cool happens in it. I like the idea of him getting possessed. In chapter 2, he got possessed and almost tried to kill his family. So I like the fact that the son is discovering through his artistry. I like the son doing the art and realizes he ends up drawing, and he realizes, oh shit, there's a memory that I have repressed. And I have to deal with this. But and so maybe I got to get some help. But no, actually, it's just this fucking demon that's motherfucking with the Tiny Tim song, and he just shut up. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll talk more about that in the spoilers. But I agree with these two. It is definitely missing some points. It's not one that you need to go out and see. If you've seen the others, in fact, and they call this one like a resolution, it doesn't feel like a resolution. It's just passed down to his son now, and the son and the father work together as the son helped the father. Previously, they're continuing that in here, and then they tease some more. It's like, oh, bro, God, man. And they're like, can you blame us? We spend $5 million and we make 170 million. Do you blame us? I go, no, but I just wish that it was better because you actually set up something pretty solid there in the front. So I'm also going to go 5 out of 10, end up halfway average. And yeah, so we'll go into the spoiler section next. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. All right, welcome to the spoiler section. So, Patrick, how the fuck do we stop? How do we stop Darth Maul's cousin from possessing everybody?
So I'll tell you what, we're gonna fucking load up in the car.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Herbie Lurby,
Yeah.
and we're gonna buy a gallon of black paint.
Herbie Lurby. I like that. Herbie Lurby. That's it. So.
What the fuck?
What?
Man?
They didn't even set this up.
He saw a red door and he wanted it painted black.
So what happened? Do the thing. Do the thing.
That is the thing.
That's
But do more of that.
So what you guys just don't get
They
it,
should have
right?
just played the song.
Yeah, you play a song, and then it's really all about imagery from the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And
So he was
deep.
playing-
It's deep.
Yeah, the demon was playing the record painted black, and then that reminded him to paint it black.
Yeah.
Okay, so eventually the son and the father have been hypnotized, and they feel something's wrong. The father's foggy, the son is like distant, and clearly it's affected them. By the way, the wife, bitch.
Damn, bro, straight cold,
Straight
man.
cold and just like not telling anybody. They're just, deal with your trauma, or we're just gonna cover up your trauma.
And then I'm gonna divorce
let
your
it-
ass.
And then I'm gonna divorce your ass.
And you won't know
because-
why.
and you won't know why. It's because he almost tried to kill her. So I can kind of understand that, but at the same time, it's like we needed to deal with this in a different way.
Yeah.
But she uses the children as an excuse. The children saw your face. They'd never understand that it was a demon that possessed you, and you don't actually have mental health problems. It's Tiny Tim. Okay,
Yeah.
The Tiny Tim demon was trying to get you. Amongst other demons, I guess the Tiny Tim demon is the most powerful of the other demons that want to come through. Can I get the story? If we're gonna do story, Insidious 1, Insidious 2, Insidious 3 spinoff, Insidious 4 spinoff of that other spinoff, and it's like, okay, let's just go Insidious 5, a spinoff of the Red Demon guy.
Yeah.
How to get his cul-de-sac head? When did Darth Maul kick him out of the fucking apartment because it's too fucking? You got to get his shit
Has
together.
to be a prequel coming,
Yeah,
right?
and he kicked his ass out of the apartment, and that's why this demon is, I don't know, he's in a fake ass, Freddy Krueger house at the end, and the kid is like, all right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna figure out what is going on. I drew my dad about to hit me with a hammer, and I've been drawing this red door, and I put it up on my wall, and so I'm going to figure it out. And the quirky college roommate's like, yeah, let's do it. She's all into it, and because she's quirky and she likes weird shit, and so let's do it. And but when he goes in there, the demon plays the song, and kind of goes through gives him a fucking Ferris wheel of
And then chains
of
them
trauma.
up somehow?
So he's like, here's some mannequins, and this happened to you one time, and there's some mannequins over here, and this happened to you. And now I'm gonna put a bunch of chairs on top of your head. Yeah. But we never actually see the chairs. It's just in a separate scene. He's showing, oh man, I got a chair fort and I can't get out. And I guess that's what allows the demon to take over his body. And because the demon takes over his body, Tiny Tim, demon, He's about to kill his college roommate by stringing. He's gonna like choke her out. But he's doing it real slow, and he's laughing, and she's like, "I'm about to beat your ass." and the demon's like, "I like that."
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
oh,
let's get rough. So I was like, the sinister laugh is insidious. He's insidious. So I see what they did there. But here's the thing. It's just dumb.
It's dumb.
It's dumb.
Really?
So they repress all these memories. The guy hypnotizes him and says, "You will forget everything last year." The way that it comes back is he's in art school, and his art teacher's like, "I want you to think of dark thoughts, real deep dive into your dark thoughts, and then dig deep,
and then she counts.
and then she counts down from 10.
Counting, yes.
And no one has ever in front of this motherfucker ever counted down from 10 because the second she counts from 10 to 1, he's like, "Oh, fucking demons," and he's like tiptoeing through the tulips, and he draws a red door, and him drawing the. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's great. So he draws the door, and just him drawing the door opens the door, even though he drew a closed door. So I don't know if they understand how symbolism works, but it was a closed door. And then when he draws the door, both Dad and him start meeting ghosts and shit. And at the very end of the movie, after all the stuff happens, the dad's like, "You know what? Fuck it. I can't hold this door back because they're in the astral plane."
Yeah.
And the guy's like, even though it's a metaphorical door and it's supposed to be this barrier, the demon can like rip his hand through the door, so it's not a very good door anyway. So it doesn't make any sense.
That metaphorical door.
It's like a here's Johnny moment.
Metaphorical door.
It doesn't do anything, but then he's like, "No, son, even though we're estranged, I don't want you to know that I love you. Go save yourself, and I'll hold this door forever."
Hold door.
Hold door.
Hold door. His dad's going, hold door.
Hold door. But then
and his son leaves him. Why does his son leave him?
Because he was terrified. And,
Damn, his son, that's cold-blooded.
Son's like,
I'd have been like, "Oh, really? I'm just kidding. I was testing you, boy. Get your ass back here."
there was like no hesitation either.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
fucking just turns around and is like, all right.
Go find a chair or something, put it under the doorknob. It's like, I'm not saying you have to sit here with me for eternity, but go get something we can block this door with, asshole. But no, the son abandons him, and the son makes it back to his room, and he looks at the painting, and he's, you know what? You know what? I know how to stop this demon. Black paint.
Dude,
and he
nailed
paints the door black, which stops the demon.
He
and
paints in the real life. He paints the painting, and then somehow it's linked to the astral plane. Like I get, you want to do this astral plane, and they take the astral plane so serious because we have a cameo of the lady. Everybody knows this horror lady. I forget her name. She's in all the goddamn, Insidious. She had her own movie, Insidious thing. Right, and so you got this horror lady. She makes a cameo, and she's got a YouTube channel where she takes it very serious. So it's real. And the astral planing is real. But then you're adding in, okay, if you paint on a piece of paper, and then that will teleport into the astral plane, and it will do the thing. So they
didn't set up anything. There was actually an opportunity for like, there's this really eccentric art teacher talking about like the difference between like dark and light and why these things work. And they could have set something up where it's just like, look, sometimes our dark thoughts are, things from our subconscious, and we can use these things to enhance certain things or block certain things out. And there could have been like this thing that makes it work. What we got was a fucking idiot kid who abandoned his dad, who paints a painting in the real world black, which blocks Darth Maul's cousin from coming through a hole in the door that he made. Yeah. And I'm sitting here going, did I miss something in the first fucking 4 movies? Why does black paint kill demons?
Yeah, and the demon, Darth Maul's cousin, punches a hole through the door before it went black, and then as it was going black, then he goes, "Peek-a-boo." and then the black goes over, and he's like, "Oh, man, that black paint. You got me. You got me."
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for your black paint.
And that's fucking it. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? This is the weakest demon in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, this motherfucker.
This demon is supposed to be the demon that's been haunting his family for generations. Because his dad was dealing with that demon. And so the dad was supposedly crazy.
Yeah. So we get several scenes of his dad. This figure haunting his dad, and apparently it was his dad trying to reach out to him, and whether he just wanted to kill him or and cling on to life or warn him. I don't know.
one knows.
We don't really
They could
know.
have done something cool with the dad too, where the dad helps him. He's like, your son takes off, and then his dad helps
does help him at the end. His dad transforms into a lantern.
Your dad left the lantern.
No, yeah, he transforms into a lantern.
Oh, well.
He didn't leave the lantern. He is the lantern. And so then he gets out. But he didn't actually go anywhere with the lantern, so he didn't need the lantern because he just goes like this, and then he wakes up.
But the
He's
dad
like,
could
sorry,
have
I've
held
been
the
trying
door.
to kill you the whole film,
Yeah.
but now
I'll help you.
I'm going to turn to a lamp.
There was an opportunity for like the dad before he killed himself.
We're
Patrick
talking
Wilson-
about the grandpa.
Yeah, so
we have to
Patrick
separate.
Wilson's father
sorry,
killed
yes,
himself.
Grandpa.
And he kept and wrote, "This ends with me." And I thought it would have been kind of cool if he's like, "No, Patrick Wilson, you go with your son. This ends with me."
Right.
And astral
And
projects your daddy,
Boom!
holds the door, and like,
And everything comes together. The note wrote, the note that the grandpa wrote,
and then we don't
comes
need the
true.
stupid ass black paint.
It's
And
like
then
I'm
everything's kind of
and
fun.
maybe we get a little punches thrown on that on Darth Maul's cousin. God damn it! I want a confrontation with Darth Maul's cousin. So here's how I think it should have ended. It's like because the lesson you're telling people here is just again. You're dealing with the trauma, cover your trauma up. Cover it up with paint and don't deal with it and don't worry about it. Everything's great now. Everything's great. We moved on because we shut it out.
Yeah.
We shut it out. No, you deal with it. And I thought that was the direction it was going because they kept dropping a line, open the door.
Yeah.
Open the door. But the problem is the movie... The characters that are saying open the door are the apparitions, the demons that he's seeing. And, of course, they want the door open because they want life. They want to come into our world. But it should have been something like we're trying to help you open the door. So when he's holding the door back, I thought the kid was going to be like, Dad, let's do it. Yeah. Open this fucking door. We'll do it together.
And shit,
Yeah.
and he's just like,
Let's
nunchucks.
do it together. Let's confront him. We're bigger than this. They open the door. The demon comes out, and there's a confrontation there, and they heal together or whatever.
The hero
They
arc would have
deal
been
with
so much
it.
better because, like, in the film, the
Say, open the door.
The granddad or the guy's dad is demonized because I didn't have a dad growing. He goes through and I didn't have a dad growing up, and he's portrayed as a deadbeat dad, but really he had mental issues or
No,
he didn't
Demon
have
issues.
He had demon issues.
He had
demon issues that were being perceived as mental
health
issues,
issues,
mental health issues, and then he's demonized, and then
exactly.
I 100% agree.
So that would have
that's his hero arc, right?
right. It should have been resolved a different way. Again, we cover it up with black paint and we deal with it another day.
Yeah,
that was the
it.
moral of the film. Cover your problems up with black paint,
Oh, he painted over it, though.
and you paint it over it.
Paint over it.
You paint over your problems
Twice.
Yeah.
twice, and then you don't deal with it.
you did.
And then you go to your wife's house, and all of a sudden she wants to fuck you again.
Yeah,
to get back with
you
you.
get
Hey,
to
why
go to
don't you-
dinner.
Why don't you come a little earlier to my house and pick up the kids? Oh fuck. And then as he's leaving the house, the old lady is astral projecting. Though I thought she died in one of the films, or maybe she didn't, and she was just somewhere else. And she's like, "Good job, Josh." And he's like, "All right, do I know you?" Because I guess he's still foggy. I guess all of his memories didn't return. He didn't know about her or whatever. So he gets in the car, drives away. I thought that maybe, she was going to go smile at the end or demon voice or something. That there was going to be something off. But no, it ends happy. He dealt with it. His son puts his dad up on the wall. Picture of this time of his dad rescuing him in the chapter 2
With a lantern.
With the lantern, because that's what happened in chapter 2. And then the credits roll, and at the very, very end, you see the black door now. There's a light above the black door, and it went out when the paint went, and then the light turns on.
Ooh, spoopy.
So
Maybe they got one of those automatic bulbs. I got one of those automatic bulbs.
Yes.
Mine that turns
So
on.
did
You
the
can't
clap-
defeat
oh,
Darth
the clap-
Maul's cousin. He's too powerful. He had paint thinner. He found some paint thinner in
Oh,
the fucking
shit.
house somewhere.
God damn it.
And yeah, it burst through. Oh, God damn it. So what I want, these things are going to continue whether we want them to or not.
Yeah.
So if it's going to happen, I'm so sick and tired of them teasing this goddamn Darth Maul cousin as if he's a badass, as if he's a horror legend now. Let's see a confrontation. Let's take this guy on.
Yeah,
Stop running from him. Stop running from your problems and covering it up. You need to confront your problems, deal with them appropriately, and heal from them.
Yes.
Okay? So
Great
that should be that's the message. That
Good
should have been
message.
the message.
Should have been.
But no,
That's our message to you.
that's our message to you. But Don't cover it up with black paint.
Maybe then one of the next ones will get the backstory of the evil guy. Then he.
They've had 5 films to do
That's
this.
what I was
now
thinking.
there's
That's what I was
potentially
saying.
3 more because we've got the Kumail one
And
for
honestly,
sure.
yeah.
And then we got the other one, and then there's the sinister Insidious crossover they're talking about doing right now.
Are they really?
Yeah, I read
Also,
on the
they are
Wikipedia
gonna,
page.
They
so.
are gonna cross them
Oh,
over.
Yeah, so like
Goddamn.
they're calling
So then
it
so then Darth Maul's cousin.
Insidious or something, or
So then, are you joking?
no, it's on the Wikipedia page.
Okay, so then Darth Maul's cousin
He's
finally
gonna get a prequel, man.
gets-
He's gonna
he
fucking.
bursts his lightsaber. I'm borrowing this
Yeah.
from. We have to be very careful because my brother will be or my cousin will be very mad if we fuck this up.
It's a villain origin story.
Maybe he's the hero.
I'd be more interested in that, honestly. I want them to get silly with it, Freddy Krueger it, or at least confront him, because all this teasing going in the astral plane and then coming out just for no reason. In fact, what's funny is that I actually don't think the red and black guy is very scary. There are other moments in this film where he's in an MRI machine and the lights go off and you're like claustrophobic. He's like, all right, doctor, get me out of here.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Oh,
is there someone in there with you? You know, so
Yeah.
like that kind of shit. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then you look up and there's like somebody in the
Ugh.
MRI machine with him.
Yeah.
And then he looks down and it's like a crazy hospital lady.
It's like
Yeah.
the nun
And
looking thing.
I was like, ooh, the hair.
Yeah.
The hair's rose. I was like, that bitch needs her own movie or
yeah.
something.
The lady that crawled underneath the bed and her legs were like over, like
the
she's all
contortionist,
contorted.
They got
gross.
a bunch of contortionists at the end of the
Yeah.
film, so they're making money.
All of them are more interesting than the bad guys we
Yeah.
got.
Then the Tiny Tim guy, all he's got is he got a record player.
Even the Barf guy is better.
Yeah.
Barf guy is better than Tiny Tim
Like,
guy.
tell me more about the barf guy.
Yeah, he just
Yeah. We don't actually learn how he died, right?
alcohol poisoning.
Okay, because he was doing the
It was like a
pledge
very
thing.
subtle, yeah.
Yeah, got it. All right, well, I think that's it.
Pretty average.
Yeah.
Womp.
It could have been good, and that's why it kind of started.
So how does
'cause
this
I
fit in
want
with
me to-
Annabelle?
Yeah, I don't know.
No? Then
No,
where's the
it
doll?
doesn't fit. No,
Yeah,
that's
and
the
why
wrong
the fuck was the
franchise.
guy that hypnotized him at the funeral?
Carl?
Yeah.
Yeah, why was
because
Carl
of-
there?
Yeah.
Because
Apparently,
he probably was banging his
had
mom or
respect.
something. Who knows? He's an old guy.
He had respect for the mother that passed away.
Yeah,
like-
respect if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Where he was hitting it on the-
It is a horror movie.
Probably. Anyways, guys, thank y'all. And on that horribly disappointing note, we will end the review. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.